rush, never act. You know, usually scammers try to make people feel that there is no time to lose. Oh, the police is arresting if you don't immediately bring the money, rather than, always double check. So if they say that somebody is potentially a victim, call them, to see if
Yeah.
it's true or not, So never believe an incoming, offer. For more complex scam, for example, one scam that is going around a lot, they target people with experience in cryptocurrency, that potentially are developers. They pretend that they are halfway with the project. They were paying a developer something like $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, like a big amount. And they say, if you can take over, we pay you this money. And they make people run some code in their computer. And this code, include malware, spyware, so create a backdoor for these people to enter in the computer and steal the private key, steal the cryptocurrency of these developers. So sometimes things that are very exciting are not true, and also that
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of attention to. In terms of technology, there are some applications that notice bad behavior, but I'm not sponsored by any of those, so I cannot promote one in specific, right?
I think it. Hey guys, so today we are with such an amazing guest, someone who has been pioneer in emerging technologies for over 3 decades. He's been an expert in decentralization, blockchain, and AI, and he legally started his first company at just 14 years old. A serial entrepreneur who has built and managed businesses across 3 continents, and he's lived in Italy, Florida, Singapore, and now calls Bali his home. So, with a deep passion for disruptive technologies and no nonsense approach to businesses, he is here to share his journey, insights, and few laps along the way. So please welcome to the show, Roberto. So, Roberto, what motivated you to start your company at 14 and how has been your journey shaped? Please share your experience.
Hi. First of all, thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was a little kid, a little bit spoiled by my parents, and my parents didn't get along a lot. So if mom says no, my father will say yes, and vice versa. Until the day that they agreed in say no, both of them, and I found myself without any more, so a big drastic change of lifestyle. And this has been really the push that made me come out with the idea to make my own money. So the entrepreneurship aspect started like this. On the other side, the passion for IT and computer started also when I was very little, because I loved mechanic stuff. And then my father showed me this calculator that you can pretty much. I was asking, "What's your name?" If I say my name is Roberto, he will give
Yeah.
"Oh, nice to talk to you." If I put another name, it says, "I'm not interested in talking to you." And I found this thing magic, so I wanted to understand how it worked. My parents support this thing. They bought me like the first home computer was a Commodore VIC-20 and paid the lesson by one developer that was in town. And this brought me into building up a skill that was quite unique at the time. When moving forward, when I was 14, I already started a club of computer and other things before. Then I started the first legally registered company. And that has been interesting. We did a lot of great experience in implementing software, was a software house, and also brought in a lot of money. So as a young kid, I could really afford a beautiful lifestyle. It's funny because I became father at 17 the first time. So I moved through many experiences in life in very early moment of my life. But I've been
Great.
an entrepreneur pretty much of my life. So.
That's such a fortune. So, what are the major misconceptions about blockchain technology that you often find yourself debunking?
Well, the problem is essentially that people still connect the blockchain to cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency to scams. And
Right.
so many times when they hear blockchain, rather than appreciate the advantage of this technology, which is just the technology by itself is not a scam. A technology cannot be a scam, right?
Yeah.
So is avoided many times just because of ignorance or misconceptions. While by itself, a blockchain is an amazing technology that is actually serving a huge step forward in the evolution that we are into now, because we are in the age of information, where information is the main commodity, and
Yeah.
moving from analog, let's say, to digital.
Yeah.
In the analog world, we can have a unicity. I have a book, I give it to you, I don't have it anymore. So
Right.
this transfer. While in the digital world, being things digital, copy and paste can be done easily, and
Yeah.
because and the copy is identical to the original because it's really copied in bit and byte, one to one. So we needed something that can create a singularity. Thanks to blockchain, you can recognize the original and the ownership of it. And in this case, for example, if I have a Bitcoin, I give it to you, I don't have it anymore. I cannot
Yeah.
copy and paste the Bitcoin and give it to you the copy of the Bitcoin, because if I could do that, Bitcoin would be worth zero, right? In the
Right.
same way, with NFTs, those small monkey images that people paid a lot of money for no reason, but those are also things that are possible to have a singularity. People can show the ownership, they can transfer the ownership, and this can be done without the support of a third party. So it's directly between two people. So if you transfer this to real life, this can be the title of ownership of my car. So I can sell my car to somebody by transferring the title of ownership, and I
Right.
don't need to go to the government office to change the name on the records, and I need to trust them in maintaining the records, right? This is done directly between me selling and the person buying, and this can be verified easily. In many countries where corruption is very high, they already adopted blockchain, for example, for land ownership, because many farmers will discover they are no more owner of their own piece of land just because somebody in the land registry office is corrupted and start changing the ownership name to some family member or something like that. While with blockchain, this will require a cryptographic signature, and there is all audited, etc., etc. So he has a lot of good application in real life, and it's something that slowly should be adopted.
So, what's a real world application of blockchain that excites you most right now?
Blockchain with this element can guarantee identities. So, for example, blockchain has a cryptographic signature, can store data. So, uh, in the world of web, for example, where Web 1 was as a visiting website with static content, Web 2 is the place where we go to different websites with a username and a password, and the content
Right.
is customized to us. In Web3, we bring with us information. So in Web2, we are a different identity each website we go, if you want, right? With Web3, thanks to blockchain, the person, the identity follows me for each website that I go. In the world of gamings, for example, this means that if my avatar has just purchased a golden sword and I have a white hat, when I get out of a game, I enter the other game. I'm gonna have a white hat and a golden sword, because those are attached not inside the server of the game, but in the blockchain following me. In real life, this can be, for example, I go to the dentist and they make an X-ray of my mouth, and this is my personal data, which is I'm traveling for holiday on the other side of the planet. I have a toothache. I go to a dentist and I can show them my X-ray, because this is a part of my identity that follow me. For example, I go to a restaurant. Once I identify myself, I can share with the restaurant automatically all the food that I'm allergic of, etc.,
Right.
etc.
Exactly.
And all these things that allow an identity to have. For example, when you register bank account, phone numbers, you need to disclose your address. If you change address, you need to communicate the new one. In the way that things are done now, if you have 20 services, you need to write 20 times the email or go 20 times the website to update your address. If you use the Web3 concept with blockchain, you update it one time only. Automatically they are authorized to see it, is updated in all of them. So it's a
Right.
shift of where the data management is. When they say you own your own data, they mean it really. You own and control your own data thanks to blockchain, thanks to Web3.
So you have spoken extensively about online scams. What's the one of the most sophisticated scams you have come across? And any prevention thing you would like to suggest for vulnerable for people that leave them vulnerable to online scams?
Yeah, okay, there are for sure two different kind of scams if you want. One that address intelligent people, if you want smart people, people that is experienced enough. So, for example, the phishing where
Yeah,
you receive an email, click is perfectly the website of your bank, even the URL looks perfect because they
yeah.
replace an L with a capital I or something like
They
this.
have all the data, so
Is
they
done
make
so
people
well that
fool
if you
easily.
don't
Yeah,
pay extra attention, you can fall for and give your credential. And this is because Web 2 allow to do this thing. Web 3, you would access the bank. There is no risk that they steal your credential, though. But yeah, so in this case, they can act as man in the middle. You don't realize until the damage is done. Other scam, there are those that are the worst, I think. They prey on people that are vulnerable. Probably they're alone, they're lonely, they
yeah.
may be worried, etc., etc. Technologically advanced one in this case will be those done with artificial intelligence, where they clone somebody's voice or somebody
Right.
made the video, and they call
Deep
the
fake
old person.
technologies. Yeah,
Exactly, but many time are really low level just because they do choose victim that are unable to understand that they are taken for a ride, and sometimes they prey on emotion, so they invest even months to create a relationship with the victim before they start taking money away from these people. So once they build the trust, etc., etc., those are organized crime. That is not something that like people improvise themselves into scamming people like that. And unfortunately, it is something that happen. Or myself, I received a message in WhatsApp saying, "Hi, I'm your son. Sorry, this number is different because I lost my phone. I'm in trouble. Can you send some money?" And I replied to the scammer directly. And in fact, I had a chat with the scammer. He told me who's his target, why he does it.
yeah.
Uh, but so never trust the incoming communication when the bank call you. Double check it, call back the bank, say sorry, okay, tell me how to reach your office. Go to the website, say the phone number, and call them back. Don't take it good that those that call you are actually the bank. They can be anybody, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth.
So with AI taking over many industries right now, so what role do you see for decentralization in shaping a ethical AI? Do you think AI can truly be decentralized?
Absolutely, that's what I advocate and what I'm technically working on since a few years. And if you think AI is an IQ level that is above the average of the humans, and now they're arriving above the best of the humans, has all the knowledge of the world, and can think at the speed of light. So I think next to an AI, we they can think something that they're reaching slowly.
Yeah,
We are like a tree. Who knows? Maybe plants they can reason, but they do so slow that to us they are like steady. But in reality, and in their speed, they're actually doing things. Probably we are like trees next to AI, which means that AI can really anticipate a lot of our moves and reasoning and take us for a
okay,
ride. So, who controls AI controls populations because we all rely on ChatGPT, on this other, but the most common being ChatGPT, to tell things. And if we are conditioned by the news feed of a social media like Facebook,
right.
you know that they control elections, etc., etc., right? AI has way much a deeper understanding of us that a social media or a search engine have. So it's dangerous that this thing is controlled by a small company because they are no company with 10,000 people, are really small.
Right.
That has in a data center the whole management of all the users. So I suggest the AI should be like a blockchain. It should be a peer-to-peer network with thousands, if not millions, of nodes where this AI is distributed among all these nodes, and really building synapses like the one that AI needs in order to come to conclusions, but in a physical network where nobody has control over everybody else. And this will be the AI that I will use with no problem, you know. So that's how I see the things can go in order to do them properly.
Right. So many tech startup focuses on raising venture capital first before they execute their ideas. So do you believe bootstrapping is a better path in the blockchain or any kind of tech industry?
Yeah, bootstrapping, I think, is the best way to go. That's my opinion. Okay, unless I have a ready product that they need to reach a full continent in one day, then I
Yeah.
need a lot of capital and I need to partner with people that have the kind of reach and experience. But if I am creating something, the beauty of growing slowly is the fact that I can pivot to see and understand very well what my public, my customers, my community wants from me, and the fact that I build something solid. Things that go up fast come down fast. Things that go up
Yeah.
slowly, it takes a lot to take them down. And plus, if things don't go well, I didn't lose anything, meaning that I lose the income that I've made, but at the end, I enjoyed the ride anyway. So I think that's the best way. But, is case by case something that can be, chosen differently.
So as a serial entrepreneur, what were the toughest challenges that you have faced and how did you overcome it?
But challenges in the business that has as product intellect is
Hmm.
the management of those people that produce this intellect, which is really the people. So there are really two different kind. I mean, with all the shade of gray in the between of businesses, those that are fully based on machinery and very little on humans that just control this machinery.
Yeah.
Let's say a printing company that has a lot of machinery to print and just need very few people to control those. Two companies that are 100% intellectual, consulting, implementation of software, etc., etc. So when you move into spectrum, I would say that on one side, the complication will be probably to maintain the machine without it breaks or the support or maintenance costs of that. On the other side is the psychology of people. So I think that when on one side you need to be a good mechanic, on the other you need to be a good psychologist in managing a company that is made by people. Hiring is the key process because once you get the wrong people and you have them in the company is a disaster. So having a correct hiring process, very talented headhunter or human resource manager, if you want, it is.
So, how do you hire your talent? What's the first thing you see, and how do you recognize that it's the like-minded person that I would work with on long-term basis?
Well, I keep the technical skill a little bit at the last place. I try
Okay.
to evaluate if somebody is a good person, is intelligent, has a good attitude toward life, and this being the key aspect because once you have this, then it's easy to fill in the blank for the rest. You can have a very talented software developer that on the other side is a criminal. You're gonna still
Right.
have a criminal in your company. And believe me, happened, so it's not easy to see through. And a good probation time that allow people to show the true colors before you are committed in the long term with them. Yeah.
So, how's the company culture there? Do you over pamper your employees to keep them motivated, or is it more like a restricted environment or
Well,
more disciplined?
yeah, there are depends on the culture of people you work with. There are culture that are more respectful of a boss that is mean, and if the boss is nice, they think the boss is stupid.
Stupid. Yeah.
Other they'll appreciate the human relationship. I would say they also depends the culture of the entrepreneurs. So you start your company, you have a method of working. You better find people that match way of working because you know it is quite key that you don't have to change yourself in order to obtain results. Yeah.
Right. And what's your perspective on balancing innovation and business sustainability in today's fast-paced tech world?
I would say that strangely enough, in terms of innovating, there are different fronts. Countries that were behind are the ones that end up with the best innovation because they have nothing to replace. They need only to fill the empty spots. And the culture is there worldwide because now we have like one consciousness thanks to internet, thanks to things that we see and reason in the same way. Countries that were already ahead, in the recent past, they have another time to innovate because they already have what was the innovation, 5 years before. So the speed at which technology advances is difficult to catch up with the speed when you need to purchase a new set of things or change the mechanics of business. So there are interesting steppings in who can do this innovation.
Great. So, having founded and managed companies across three continents, what are the key cultural differences in entrepreneurship you have noticed?
Again, being my business, all intellectuals. So I would say that how can I gonna put it in the good terms? This unfortunately, and I would say unfortunately, like the common culture of people depends on the
Okay.
history of their country, depends on the religions, the politics, and how they behave. Even if they are not directly affected, I mean, somebody's atheist but in a country that has a particular religion, it would be culturally different from the atheist in a country that have a different religion. If somebody is a devout citizen in a country with high corruption, it's gonna be a
Mm.
different of a person that is identical kind of attempt, but in a country like Singapore where the rule, is mandatory and everybody respect the rules. It is beautiful because the world is different wherever you go, but
Yeah,
it takes different approach and different method because talents you find talents everywhere. Okay, so I live in Bali in Indonesia, and you have an incredible community of digital nomads, etc., etc. A lot of talented Indonesians as well. They work with high level of intellect on projects. And then you have farmers that they are doing their job in the rice field. And sometimes I look at them and I think, how many Einsteins are wasted there? How many Einsteins are
right.
born in a family that didn't give them the opportunity to
Mm.
showcase their own,
Grow.
On the other side, you go, for example, in America or you go somewhere in the United States, and people
Yeah.
that supposedly should be the farmers there are actually going to college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Living a luxury life. Yeah.
you have these opposites that strangely cultures and places creates.
That's an
Uh,
irony. So, with cybercrime on the rise, do you believe governments are taking the right approach in regulating digital security?
Look, take the most advanced country technologically, which I would think Singapore is one of the top in the world. Okay,
Mm.
it's 2025, and when you have an issue with your bank in Singapore, you still need to send a fax. For
Yeah.
those that are listening, they don't know what is a fax. It was this machine where you put a piece of paper inside, and a copy of this paper was coming out remotely on the other side. Okay, why banks in 2025 still require a fax to be sent to them, which nobody has anymore at home or in office a fax? Because regulators are slow. Regulators
Mm.
are slow to change because it's a difficult process for sure in
Even
bad
in these
technology.
developed countries.
What can you do? So you're forced as an institution that is regulated to follow the law and to follow the regulations. Regulation stop you from innovating
Yeah.
because they are stuck to where they were. Okay, probably they're not founded properly. I don't know. So in one side, what is done by government is to slow down innovation. Look at Europe now with artificial intelligence. Europe is going to remain the last country in the world. India, for example, is going like you literally went to the moon recently, but
Yeah.
is going ahead a lot because of the freedom of doing things. Which, as soon as you have a regulator that step in and block things without giving a good alternative, you end up like Europe that cannot innovate. So if you have an innovative idea in Europe, you need to move outside Europe in another
Mm.
country and bring your ideas there. And then this country is going to innovate. So it is, I think, a very, very, very difficult role from government to, on one side, protect the user and citizen, and the other side, allow the evolution, the innovation to take place is a very difficult position where they are. So
Yeah.
I don't blame them, but sometimes they are exaggerated in regulate even before the technology is clearly shaped.
Okay. So is it possible to create a completely fraud-proof system, or will there be loopholes always? Will scammers always find a way around?
Yeah, the weak link in everything's where uh, criminals manage to attempt to scammer succeed are humans.
Yeah.
The fact that the hacker have this technological ability to penetrate systems that you see in the movie is one in a million. The rest are, psychological attack done to people because humans are the weak link in all
Right.
security systems. So at the end of the day, when you can control something, somebody manipulates you, you're gonna
Hmm.
do it, and the system obey to you. So I would say that with AI, some criminal have much better tools in
Yeah, right.
fooling victims. So
In ethical use of AI, what do you think? What role do you see for decentralization in shaping AI?
I think it's too late even to try to think about limiting access to things. Now,
Hmm.
everybody has downloaded in their computer a model that are quite powerful. So I have DeepSeek from China that
Yeah.
is powerful as much as ChatGPT
ChatGPT.
1 and runs in my computer, so I don't have to connect anywhere. And now in America, they give 20 years of prison and I don't know many if you download the DeepSeek. It's silly to try to regulate technology in this way, I believe.
Right.
It's a
So,
matter of people as access, people can use, catch
hmm.
the criminals, like at the end of the day, that's where, the bad things happen. So somebody use technology to do good things. You can use DeepSeek to discover a new cure for a sickness or to design a new medicine. Why not? To me,
Yeah.
like, it's not because it come from China, you cannot use it. This is the culture in the United States. Opposite will be, so I
Yeah.
think that we need to go back and focus on
The
the
areas of application are unpredictable.
right.
So, what's a personal habit or routine that you believe has contributed most to your success?
What, sorry, my daily routine that contributed to my success.
Right.
I think the determination.
Okay.
Once you want to do something, you keep going and trying to do it. I tell my kids, doesn't matter what it is. You want to play
Hmm.
the violin, you want to be, I don't know, like a tailor, whatever. If you do 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day of that thing, and after 10 years you are not a superstar in the skill set, there is a big problem with you. So I think that persistency in something allow to achieve the goal is very easy, like you keep trying is gonna happen. So don't get demoralized. Fall, get up, learn, and repeat is uh, is the key to succeed with things.
Right. And
Luck,
if
luck is also a very good component of it. I would say that an entrepreneur that is successful that tells you that the luck has no role in him being successful is lying to you because yeah, you need to help luck to help you. It's not that you stay seated in your couch all day and suddenly, because you're lucky, things goes well. But while you're working hard, there are moments where luck really help you to do a step forward.
if you weren't in tech industry, what industry you would have choose then?
I will be a stand-up comedian probably. I don't know.
Yeah, you have a good sense of humor. So let's start with our never have I ever section. So um, you have to reply quickly of the questions.
All right.
So never have I ever started a company just to prove a point.
Oh yeah, quite a lot of times actually.
And never have I ever have had a business idea so crazy that even I thought, no way, this is too much.
Well, I do a very good analysis before I invest myself into something. So a crazy idea I have constantly. I have a drawer full of ideas I can go from now until I'm 90 years old doing. But doing them, that's another thing.
Okay. So never have I ever thought that this AI is getting too smart. I should be concerned.
Oh yes, absolutely, constantly.
Okay. And never have I ever lived in a place so long that people forget I wasn't originally from there.
That will never happen. Will never, never happen.
Okay. And never have I ever completely gotten completely lost in a foreign country and had to improvise my way out.
Oh yeah, I love to go around with an Harley Davidson, driving around places, and I got lost millions of times. I love it though.
Okay. Never have I ever used a VPN just to watch a show in another country.
Cannot say.
Okay. If blockchain had emotions, would it be an optimist, a realist, or conspiracy theorist?
Realist, that's absolutely what blockchain is.
Great. So it was great having you here. Thank you for sharing so much about technologies and your experiences in other countries. So I hope the audience would love it and will learn many things from you. And I also got to learn from a lot from you. Thank you so much. Any last advices or any last remarks you would like to mention?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in the show. It's been a great experience for me too, and you're a nice host. And
Thank you so
last
much.
message to everybody, I would say stay curious because curiosity killed the cat maybe, but made the humans more intelligent. Subscribe to the channel and use their branding services. My website is
Yeah, please.
rcx.it, so three letter rcx.it, and there you find the links for everything. Download the books or find whatever else.
Okay, check out the links in description. Thank you so much.